So, here we go. Game 1 between Alpha Pro Gaming and Vultur. Vultur, the Argentinian team, Alpha Pro, the Brazilian team, and right away we do get a smoke coming out from Vultur. Algodao on the Jakiro. Does have himself one ward, maybe looking to ward a little aggressively in the mid lane. Maybe try to catch out somebody on the side of Alpha Pro. For the side of Alpha Pro, it doesn't look as though we're going to see any aggressive plays. No smokes used, and really they're just sitting back towards these nice little shrines that we've got here in 7.01, and going to be looking to just secure the bounty rune. And both teams, they're just sitting back. No aggression before the horn. So, 8 seconds to go. No aggression from either side. It's going to be Hijack up top with Don, Bruno, and Nito. And then Yasuki is going to be in that mid lane on the Mirana. Tritazera on the Slardar in that off lane. As we take a look at the other side, Vultur, they're setting up. Widge on the Juggernaut with Ame, as well as Algodao on the Jakiro down low. Mid for them is going to be the Invoker, Pepita. And then off lane is going to be D on that Underlord up top against that tri-lane. So, in terms of lanes and really if we'll see anything big happen from either side, maybe we see Vultur go on Trader Zera, and they actually will. Blade Fury comes out with the Paralyzing Cast. Algodao is going to be in there with Vultur, and the three of them will get themselves first blood on Trader Zera. That's first blood going the way of the Juggernaut. 55 seconds in. Juggernaut looking good in this lane already. And with that first blood going the way of the Juggernaut, could open up the way for Algodao and Ame to make their way around the map and look for even more pickoffs. This Slardar is going to be in a bit of trouble up against Algodao and the Jakiro and Ame with the Paralyzing Cask, and they're going to be able to force him out of lane. It's going to be some easy free farm for this Jakiro. Algodao takes level 1 in Liquid Fire while we get the Paralyzing Cast come out from Ame. That, with the Blade Fury on this Juggernaut, is enough to get that first blood. And it looks to be an easy lane for the side of Vultur down low. We take a look over mid. Yasuki taking a little bit of early harass, about half health. Pepita is here too. Has that salve, has that shared tango, so not too much regen. But he should be able to push Yasuki out of lane with the Alacrity already on him. So we take a look over at Diu's on this Underlord. He's moved his way into the jungle, leaves the open free farm for Hijack on the Lifestealer up top. And that kind of means Don, Bruno, and Nito can kind of move around the map, but they will just help Alpha Pro Hijack try to pull this wave. Not successfully doing so, trying to get him as much easy free farm as they can while Don Bruno makes his way bottom. So Trader Zera, he's got 4 tangos, but like I said, it's a tough lane up against this Jakiro and Witch Doctor Paralyzing Cask, as well as Liquid Fire. They're looking for the Echo Stomp to go on Algodao. They're not going to have enough after that Slithering Crush. Don't really want to go in. They know they'll be up against the Dual Breath and the Paralyzing Cask, and if Widge comes in there with the Blade Fury already level 2, could definitely mean some trouble, and they might even give up 2 kills if they weren't too careful right there. So excuse me for the sniffling and the nasally voice. I am just a tad sick. It's a bit cold here in New York. It's getting everybody sick. But excuses. We'll try to keep this game casted as well as we can. So with that Liquid Fire level 1 from Algodao, he's going to be able to push back the Slardar and Don Bruno on that Elder Titan pretty efficiently. And he has stacked up this camp. Maybe they look to pull. Maybe they look to stack one more time. Trying to get that pull. Not too sure. Ooh, might get it. And he does. So it's an easy pull. We'll pull the wave back towards their tower. Make an easier time for Widge to get himself some farm. We do take a look up top while this Lifestealer is already 21-3. And then D on the Underlord has 21 last hits, so he's not doing too poorly. About 900 gold to his name, while the Lifestealer up top looking for those early phase boots and about 200 gold away. So phase boots already finished on Widge. He did get that first blood, has a little bit of a boost over this Lifestealer early on, 4 minutes in, and arcane boots are finished for D already. Just about level 6 too. He's got Firestorm level 3, Pit of Malice level 1, and Atrophy Aura level 1. He'll be able to get a couple of last hits under tower with that Firestorm, especially with that Atrophy Aura that's granting him about 35 more damage. So smoke comes out from Nito and Don Bruno. Maybe they'll make an aggressive play towards mid. The Invoker has backed off for a little bit. Not too sure if they're going to be able to bring down the Invoker without the Mirana. So they'll have to wait for Invoker to go back to his lane. Pepita might be in a little bit of trouble here with Nito and Don Bruno. They're going to try and line up this Telekinesis with the Echo Stomp. If they can line up both, maybe an arrow hits, and they get the Starstorm and find themselves a kill in this mid lane. Does not have Ghost Walk set just yet. There's the Telekinesis with the Echo Stomp. Yasuki trying to line up an arrow? No. Already used it. Paralyzing Cast comes through. Starstorm going to back off Ame and Pepita. They will find themselves one kill. D is here with Algo down, and now they're trying to get themselves more. Yasuki a little bit low at about half health. They do get the Firestorm and the Pit of Malice down. They will find themselves a kill on the Rubik. So a gank gone wrong for Alpha Pro Gaming, and they give up another kill to the side of Vultur. This time it will go to Ame on the Witch Doctor. So a couple of rotations come out for the side of Vultur, not really hurting them all too much. It does open up more free farm for Hijack, but he's been free farming pretty much this entire game just to give him a little bit of an easier time is not too terrible, especially when they find themselves a kill mid. They still had the Juggernaut free farming bottom, so nothing given away too easily towards the side of Alpha Pro Gaming, even with the 3 extra rotations coming in towards mid. The arrow from Yasuki was there. I did not see it. It was short distance. It didn't do all too much for them. D is going to try and TP out. Just needs a little bit of a moment more, and will get back just towards his tower. So they were trying to find themselves a kill. There's Pit of Malice. Hijack is going to get hit by that liquid fire. So now they're going to start to harass out this Lifestealer, make it a little bit harder for him to find himself some last hits and that early farm. They get the Telekinesis coming out on D, and now there's the Dual Breath on Nito. Nito not going to be in too much trouble. There is the Liquid Fire, now with the Open Wounds and the Echo Stomp. He slept up. Algo down might fall to the side of Alpha Pro, and he will as Don Bruno finishes up the kill. So a little bit too aggressive from the side of Vultur as Don Bruno comes in through the river with that Echo Stomp and places it perfectly to find themselves a kill on to the Jakiro Algo down. Meanwhile, Widge is still continuing to farm down low. He's found himself 47 last hits, 24 denies. He's in front of this Lifestealer who is having a harder time. Algo down goes down again. And he finds himself falling for a second time to this tri-lane up top. So we take a look over at Widge. He's level 6, has Omni Slash available. Ame, just about level 6 as well, so they might look to line something up once they hit level 6 on this Witch Doctor. Start to be a little bit more aggressive, but right now they'll take this free farm on the Juggernaut. Really have no complaints. We take a look at Trader Zera. So it was level 5, 2 in his Sprint, and 3 in Slither and Crush. Has the Iron Talon. Trying to get as much farm as he can, only 20 NO as he had a hard lane down low in that off lane. So Yasuki with this haste as well as a regen. Really just getting some perfect runes right now. Gonna have to lower that announcer. Next pause. So smoke comes out from Nito and Don Bruno. They'll be looking for a kill down low. There's 3 here with the courier coming in. And now the arrow is thrown. Maybe going to hit a target. Widge, whoo! Got it really close to getting hit right there. Almost walked right into the arrow that almost was an opportunity for Alpha Pro to take down the position 1 on the side of Vultur. They had 4 down low, ready to go in on that. They could line that up with an Echo Stomp as well as a Telekinesis. And Slardar was there just in case they needed a Slithering Crush. But that was all if the arrow hit, and it did not. So now Don Bruno and Nito are going to smoke up again. They'll immediately break to Pepita, who's trying to farm these Ancients, looking for an Echo Stomp. It will land. Nito going to have that Telekinesis with the arrow coming in. That's a long duration arrow. And now with that Starstorm, they will find another kill onto Vultur. Paralyzing Cask is here. Widge is going to use that Blade Fury, trying to find a kill on Don Bruno. He will, even though Moonlight Shadow has come out. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but definitely benefiting Alpha Pro more as they take out the Invoker and only lose the support. They do use Moonlight Shadow, so maybe Vultur at this point look to be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that Alpha Pro can't get out of vision. The Fade Bolt that did come in from Rubik did quite a lot of damage to this Invoker. And it did help them get that kill on the side of that mid tower. So Widge, amplified damage is out on him. Dual Breath is going to hit on Traders. There's the Paralyzing Cast. Coming out of the Infest is Hijack. And it will stun both them up, stop them in their tracks. And backing up is Vultur. We took a look over at this Lifestealer, just about level 10. Has himself that Armlet and Phase Boots. He's looking to fight as he's pretty strong this early on. We take a look over at Rubik, level 5, not level 6 just yet, and Don Bruno, not even level 5 yet. Yasuki, just about level 10. We'll see if they do take their talents at level 10 or continue to just skill up. And then for this Slardar is level 6, as we saw with the amplified damage coming out on Algodao down low. So with Algodao and that Liquid Fire level 3, they'll be able to take these towers quite quickly, and they did do so down low, and now they're looking for another tower up top. He'll use that Dual Breath to harass down this creep wave and make it just that much easier for him and the side of Vultur to get another tier 1. So they'll continue to push. Firestorm, Liquid Fire. It'll all be used to start pushing this tier 2 up top. Widge might look to go in on Hijack. He's got Omni Slash level 1, but only level 7, and now they're trying to TP out. As 4 of them are under Underlord's ulti, and they will just TP back to mid and now push this tier 1 mid. They're looking to be all over the map. They're now as 5. And it is really hard to move around the map if you're Alpha Pro. You don't have the benefit of having D's ulti of Dark Rift. And you just TP'd up top. So they will use Moonlight Shadow. They'll try to find something on the retreat of Vultur, but with no arrows landing, no Echo Stomp landing, they'll be free to back off. So we take a look. Helm of the Dominator out for Juggernaut. We take a look at Algodao. Just has boots and that Wind Lace. And Underlord, he's going to fall. It's going to be off camera. A little bit of T-Tours coming in. It is a kill coming out for Hijack. That's his first kill of the game. He does have 2 assists under his belt, so don't really want to feed the Lifestealer. Telekinesis comes out on Widge. Going to hit down on both Ame and Pepita, making it harder for them to chase forward. That's a perfect Telekinesis coming out for Rubik while they retreat. So Ame level 6, Algodao, he's level 6. It's Ame level 7. Pepita level 11, he's taking the first talent with 125 health. And Hijack, he's taking +5 to all stats. Looking for that early Desolator. We'll see if he does choose to go for the Echo Saber. Doesn't really need the early attack speed. The +5 to all stats is pretty solid in the early game for him. Take a look down low. Algodao looking for a 4-staff. He is about 600 gold away. We take a look at D. He's looking for that Vanguard still. And does have himself the Arcane Boots and Mech. We'll probably finish off that Vanguard and then look, or it's actually a Crimson Guard. we'll actually look towards getting that Crimson Guard, and then finishing off those Guardian Greaves.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So Yasuki up top, about 800 gold from finishing that Ags double Starstorm. Will output quite a bit of damage onto the side of Vultur if they can get themselves a good team fight. They're really looking for Trader Zera to get himself that blink, and he's only 200 gold away. And once he has that blink, Alpha Pro do have a pretty solid initiator, and now Pit and Mouse is going to stop Trader Zera in his tracks. Hijack's going to have to use that rage, and they'll have to back off. Pit and Mouse comes out again with the stun coming in from the Centaur. They've got themselves one, they've got themselves two. Hijack and Don Bruno are going to fall. They're going to be able to take this tier 2 bottom with ease. As they walk back into the Pit of Malice, Macropyre's down, and then the dominated Centaur with the stun. It all works out for Vultur, and now they're going to push towards this tier 3, only 15 minutes in. So Yasuki does grab a tower up top, but Vultur, they're aggressive on this high ground siege down low. And they really need something to go their way. D's going to TP mid, and they're going to keep their aggression going, but this time they're going to move it mid. So they get 2 easy kills onto the side of Alpha Pro. They line up that Pit of Malice with the Ice Path as well as the Macropyre and the stun coming in from the dominated Centaur. They take 2, they take another tower, they put half damage on the tier 3 bottom, and then they move their way mid. Looking to force out more rotations and make it much harder for Alpha Pro to really find themselves some farm and find themselves back in this game. Why we haven't gone to net worth 15 minutes in, I don't know, but my apologies. So, Blink, Slithering, Crush, down goes Algo Dow with an easy Infest Bomb coming their way, and they find themselves a return kill, and now with that, they'll move their way towards Roche. Look to find the first Aegis of the game. So I'll have to see if the side of Vultur want to kind of contest this. They've only got it down to about 3/4 health. Here comes the Chaos Meteor rolling in. Pit of Malice is going to stop Roche. But nobody on the side of Alpha Pro as they do retreat. So now with the amplified damage out on this Roche, Vultur, they're going to walk right in. Look to get the Aegis themselves. Alpha Pro, they can't really let this happen, but they're really looking like they're going to let it happen and give away an easy Roche. Nice Helm of the dominated creep. Taking that arrow for Widge. There comes the Sunstrike, and Radiant's still going to get the kill onto Roche. There's the blink with the Slither and Crush. Infest comes out. Down goes Ame. It's 1 dead on the side of Vultur already. So Moonlight Shadow follows that up from Alpha Pro. They've got the amplified damage. Pit of Malice is going to zone out this Slardar. They're still chasing on the Invoker and Algo Dow. They've got the Echo Stomp coming through on Pepita. There's 5 surrounding him. He is in a whole bunch of trouble, and they will pop that Aegis already. Here comes the Opium Wounds on Algo Dow. They're going to try and bring him down. He's got the Rage on Hijack. A couple more hits should bring him to his demise, but Trader Zera blinks in, tries to get the Slither and Crush, but the Blade Fury is not going to allow that to happen, and now he's going to fall to Widge. Open Wounds comes out on the Juggernaut. Omni Slash is down. Hijack trying to run away from both, or now all 3 of Algo Dow, Widge, and to this Underlord. They will not find the Pit of Malice, will not find the kill. Meanwhile, on the back end, Elder Titan will fall to Pepita. So we take a look at the fight recap. Boker fell once with that Aegis. So did Ame on this Witch Doctor. They took out 2. It was the Sardar and the Elder Titan. They do claim Roche and get the Aegis despite it getting used that quickly. So there's the Pit of Malice already. Blink, Slither, and Crush with the amplified damage. Sunstrike does hit onto the side of Alpha Pro. They'll bring down Underlord already. And now they're looking for the ult from the Witch Doctor, doing quite a bit of damage. They'll bring down the Elder Titan, but Ame will fall next. Paralyzing Cast comes out on Nito, and Yasuki. Triple kill comes out for Hijack as he gets Algo Dow for the complete triple kill onto the side of Vultur. So 3-for-1 trade in favor of Alpha Pro, now 9-8. It's a net worth swing of about 1,800. Now top of that net worth is the Invoker. The next two is the Lifestealer and the Mirana. So Lifestealer's got himself that full Desolator with the Armlet and Phase Boots, getting himself quite a bit of kills. He's 5-1-3. And then Mirana, Yasuki, has got himself that full Ags at 1-0-4, outputting quite a bit of damage onto the side of Vultur with that double Star Storm. So despite losing Roche, losing the Aegis, Alpha Pro, they've got themselves pretty nicely in this game, about even on the XP. They're bringing the net worth back down. That will probably update down towards 3,000 net worth. Trader Zera does have Lifestealer in him with that Infest. He's looking for the Blink, Slithering Crush, Amplify Damage, Infest Bomb, Extravaganza. But now he'll just TP down to this lower shrine, maybe looking to grab himself a kill on the Invoker, and he does pick up that haste. And Invoker will just TP out. So here comes the Moonlight Shadow. Will allow him to freely move through this jungle. He is moving really quick at that 550 move speed with the haste, trying to go across this lane. Might find Algo Dao if they do spot him. No vision on him just yet. There's the Moonlight Shadow coming out. And now Algo Dao does avoid the Slithering Crush with the Force Staff. Now they're in with the Pit of Malice with the Ice Path. They're trying to get one. And they will as they get the Slardar. But they will not get the Lifestealers. He does TP out with that Rage. Don Bruno in a bit of trouble trying to run towards that regen rune. Will get it, but immediately popped off. Now they've got the Sunstrike. It will land, and Don Bruno will fall. So the Cold Snap lining it up and getting the Sunstrike. Another kill for Pepita, who's 2-1. Only his second kill of the game. Does seem like he was doing a little bit more than all that. So Yasuki infested with the Lifestealer. Starstorm comes in, paralyzing Cask. Leaping forward is the Mirana. Not going to disjoint it, but will get himself far enough away from the side of Vultur to stop him from getting picked off. There's the Slithering Crush. Widge in a bit of trouble. He'll be the first to fall. And now they're trying to TP out with Underlord's Tark Rift. And all four of them will find themselves an escape after the Juggernaut does go down. So Fiverr here for the side of Alpha Pro. They do lose their Tier 2 mid. Now it looks as though Alpha Pro will try to push a tower of their own. So we take a look at this Invoker Pepita. He does have himself that Ags. So it's looking all right in terms of damage and net worth. He's found himself at 11,000, looking for the Yules to follow this up as he's already got drums and Ags. And he's got that second talent for the second Forge Spirit. So we take a look at the rest of his team. We take a look at Jakiro up next. Algo Dao with the plus 8% spell amplification. And the Witch Doctor hasn't taken a talent just yet, but is at level 10. There it is. And that is plus 20% on the XP gain. Crimson Guard finished off for this Underlord. Then we take a look at the Juggernaut. He's got himself just one talent. He's kind of under-leveled here at level 12, but does have level 2 in that. Omni Slash, they're looking for a couple of kills. There it is. Infested Trader Zero with the Slardar. They've got the Pit of Malice. They're looking for the Blink, but right into the Ice Path. He will pop the Infest, and now first to fall is Algo Dao. Then the Elder Titan will be the next one to drop. Looks as though Underlord might be in a little bit of trouble with his Crimson Guard, doing a lot of help for him. There's a Sunstrike coming down on Hijack. They will disarm him, but with the Moonlight Shadow, he will not be able to escape, and Ame will disconnect right after he gets the kill on Hijack the Lifestealer. And they will pause just for a moment after the fight kind of disperses. So 2-for-1 trade, definitely favoring Vultur as they get the Lifestealer. We'll see if they can grab this Slardar trying to slither his way out. Does have Blink up, so he should be able to blink to an escape and find himself far enough away from the side of Vultur. We take a look at the net worth again. Vultur, they've got it up to about 4,000. The XP starting to rise up with those 2 kills at about 1,000. And then the net worth, of course, we see the Invoker still in the lead. Up next is the Mirana with Ags and Boots, and then the Lifestealer, who just went down, has that Sanj looking for SNY with the Armlet and Desolator. So if you are looking for the COD League in Spanish, it is hitbox.tv/COD League ESP. So, native language is always the best language to listen to Dota. If you want to go listen over there, that is fine. If you want to continue on with me, BCOP, your caster in English, stay with me right now and it'll be okay. So just going to wait for Ame to reconnect, and we should be underway in just a moment. And I'll be ready when they do. Let's take a look around the horn, see if any talents have been taken. Second talent comes out for this Mirana, plus 5% on the spell amp. Rubik, he's got his first talent, plus 60 gold a minute. We'll see if he goes for that blink, and it looks as though he's got it queued up, ready and willing to go for it. Elder Titan, he's looking for a Yules of his own. No talents just yet, very underleveled at level 8. Lifestealer, next talent coming up next, probably going to take that 25 damage. And then Swardar, he's got that first talent in Mana, has the blink already, looking for a 4-staff and not too far off from it. Take a look at this Underlord, plus 2 on the mana regen. Juggernaut, like I said, plus 20 damage. Witch Doctor, plus 20 XP gain. 20% that is. And then we saw Invoker, and then finally the Jakiro, which we saw with the plus 8% on the spell amp. Whew. So Ame is back. We are ready to go. And they are not going to be able to grab this Slardar as he blinks towards the mid lane and finds his escape. So all the tier 2s are gone for Alpha Pro. They'll look to take down this shrine. An easy 150 gold going the way of the Juggernaut. No contest coming out from Alpha Pro. They don't really feel strong enough, especially without their Lifestealer for 20 seconds. And it's actually going to be Pepita grabs the last hit with that Forge Spirit. And another pause comes out as now Yasuki is going to be the one on Alpha Pro to pause. So here we go. We are underway once again. 12-11. Vultur in the lead of Alpha Pro. We take a look at the XP 1000. Net worth still at 4,000. It's looking all right for Vultur. The later this game goes, I think the better off they'll be, especially with Underlord finding himself a little bit of farm. He's going for those Guardian Greaves. Will be done in about 600 gold. And has that Crimson Guard, and the stronger and higher level he gets, the better it is for his team. Especially with that Atrophy aura. So we take a look at this Mirana, looking for that BKB quite a bit a ways away. And Hijack just a recipe away from the full SNY. Or actually just a Band of Elven skin away from the full SNY. So 50 gold. So Pepita has those boots of travel. Going to be a nuisance on the map now. Going to be able to move around and make it hard for Alpha Pro to really catch him. Especially with Underlord, with the Dark Rift. It's going to make it tough for Alpha Pro to really lock down some of these heroes. And especially if they TP into trying to defend one of their towers, they could Dark Rift or just boots of travel now down to another lane. And make it that much harder for Alpha Pro to defend their base and towers. So Nyx going for, I was going to say Nyx. Nyx going for this SNY, does finish it off. I think he should be going for the Echo Saber while he loses their last shrine out of the base. There are shrines in the base, but he loses his last one out of the base. Should be going for that Echo Saber, trying to inflict as much damage while he's under the effect of rage, but it's kind of unfortunate that He's not having a great time. There's the arrow coming in with the Slithering Crush. Underlord in a little bit of trouble. There's the Moonlight Shadow. Omni Slash comes out on the Slardar, so it will be a 1-for-1 trade. Ame gets a kill on Trader Zera, while Don Bruno finds the kill on the Underlord. So a 1-for-1 trade. A lot happening there. Pit of Malice, as well as the Blink Slithering Crush. The Blink Slithering Crush was right into the Pit of Malice, but the arrow did hit on the Underlord, who was hit by that Slithering Crush. They did force staff him forward, and he was brought down by Don Bruno on the Elder Titan. So 1-for-1 trade. Those position 3s. So kind of even for both teams, but with that, Vultur will continue to push. Widge will find some more farm. He's got the Helm of the Dominator as well as the Manta style. He's looking for a Maelstrom of his own, and maybe look for the Mjolnir a little bit later on. We take a look at Ame. Gonna grab that Ghost Scepter, keep him alive that much longer up against the Lifestealer. Has himself the Force Staff. Maybe he'll go Yules after the Ghost Scepter. And kind of just make it that much harder for Lifestealer to bring down the side of Vultur. As long as you can kite around this Lifestealer, Vultur should be okay, and it's not too hard for him. So tier 1 up top is not there. Hijack, he's showing himself, could be in a little bit of trouble, but there's the Paralyzing Cask on the creeps. And nothing more to follow it up. There's the Blink, Slithering Crush, Crimson Guard with the Echo Stomp, and now Dean a little bit of trouble. He's going to get hit by the Telekinesis. Here comes the Tornado in with the Pit of Malice. EMP is going to follow it up. Here comes the ulti from Ame. Widge is hitting away at this Lifestealer. Will find themselves one. They're trying to get a kill on D, but it's not going to be enough as the Underlord is still alive. Ame with the Paralyzing Cask. Widge and Pepita are going to try and run at Trader Zera. They're going to hit him with the Cold Snap. There is the Blade Fury, going to avoid that Slithering Crush, and there is the Sunstrike to finish him off as he tries to escape from the hands of Vultur, but it will not be enough, as the Sunstrike is on the money yet again, and Pepita finds another kill on this Slardar. So 2-for-0, they could just not bring down this Underlord. Underlord very strong with the 29 armor, as well as the Atrophy Aura. He makes him a hard target to kill, and they were trying to focus him, who might be the hardest person to kill on Vultur, down the entire time, and they didn't find themselves anything on the side of Alpha Pro. They lose their Slardar, they lose their Lifestealer, and now they're going to lose this chance at Roche as Vultur get it once again. This time the Aegis goes on Widge. So with that Aegis coming out on Widge, he's got himself that Foam Maelstrom, about 600 gold to his name. He's taken 6 in armor, which is pretty solid. He's now got himself at 27 armor, especially with this nice Ogre, giving him that much more. So coming over, and with that Invis Rune is Trader Zera. Maybe they'll find themselves a kill on Algo Dow. They might get a little bit too cocky here, but they do get the Slithering Crush with the first kill coming out on Ame. There's a Ghost Scepter stopping Hijack from really doing anything. There's the Moonlight Shadow, but he's under a Sentry Ward. Hijack might be in a little bit of trouble as he keeps getting hit by that Cold Snap. Now they're trying to go around, maybe find a kill on Don Bruno. And now it looks as though Alpha Pro are just trying to find themselves an escape. There comes the Starstorm and the leap out from Yasuki. And they will find themselves one, and their retreat as well. So it's a 1-for-0. About 1,000 gold net worth change. A nice kill for this Lifestealer again at 8, 3, and 4. And despite having that many kills and having quite a bit of farm, it seems as though he is not being as effective as probably Alpha Pro would like him to be. And that's not just because he's underfarmed, because he's not. He's at 14,000 net worth. He's the second on his team, third in the net worth list. It just seems as though with the items that Vultur have picked up, the Ghost Scepter especially, with all the Force Staffs that can kite him around or just push them away from this Lifestealer, it's made it hard for him to be too effective. So there's a 4-man smoke coming out from Vultur. Alpha Pro, they do back off. They do have a ward down, and they are waiting for Alpha Pro to just try and sneak out of their base. Hijack is stepping forward, 4 back in base. Meanwhile, Trader Zera, he is up top trying to push out this wave. Grab himself a bounty rune. And just trying to get himself some more net worth in his next item. So the side of Alpha Pro, they're kind of backed off into their base. They really need everything to hit onto the side of Vultur for them to have a chance at taking a fight. They need the Echo Stomp, the Earth Splitter, the Slither and Crush, the Star Storms, everything. I could list off all the abilities because they all need to hit. And that's really what they need to have a chance at winning these fights. Widge already coming through. There's the Ice Path, and it looks as though they'll just Dark Rift out. They Dark Rift up top. They were all slept. The Echo Stomp was on the money. But with the Dark Rift, it made it that much harder. Blink, Slither, and Crush. Pit of Malice is there. Earth Splitter is off. Terribly off. And now it's just a tough fight for Alpha Pro to go into, but they do want to go in with the Moonlight Shadow. There's the Blink, Slither, and Crush. They pop the Aegis immediately with the double Star Storm. Ice Path not going to hit on anybody, and now coming back alive is Widge. He does have the Omni Slash if they choose to re-engage, but it looks as though the side of Vultur are just going to retreat. He's going to get Force Staff forward. They're going to look to get out Force Staff again. There's the Force Staff coming out from Trader Zera. He does have Blink available if he wants to go in on anybody on the side of Vultur. They get the Blink, Slither, and Crush. Pin of Malice is there, but already falling is Algo Dao with the Jakiro. They're trying to find another kill. Ame is going to use that Ghost Scepter. Nito might be in a little bit of trouble. He's got the Stolen Blade Fury, but not going to be enough as he falls. Hijack, he's going to get hit by that Slither and Crush, bouncing back and forth. They've got the ulti coming in from Ame, but not really that well placed. And both Hijack and Trader Zera will be able to back off for now. But now the Cold Snap comes in on Hijack. There's the Slither and Crush coming through onto Pepita, but Pit of Malice will stop Trader Zera just for the moment being. Widge is hitting away at Hijack. He will infest one of these creeps at full health, so they won't be able to deny it and make sure they get the kill on to this Lifestealer. They get the Echo Stomp hit on 3, and it will stop them from going in on both this Mirana and Slardar while they chase down Pepita and bring down his 3-time streak and TP out successfully. So Alpha Pro making good on a bad situation. They grab themselves about 1,500 net worth, 2 kills, 1 on the Invoker, 1 on the Jakiro. They pop the Aegis as well, and now Vultur, they'll probably sit back, play it safe, farm up a bit more, and wait for that next Roche. So that buys time for Alpha Pro to kind of get themselves their next items. Going for an AC is this Lifestealer. I still want to see that Echo Saber come out for him, but at this point maybe it's just a little bit too late for that item to be picked up by Hijack. We take a look over at this Juggernaut. He's finished up this full Mjolnir. He's got himself those 2 talents. He took the armor from what I last recall, and this Invoker at level 20 takes that 3rd talent, which is +7 to all stats. There's the Ice Path that hits on Yasuki, who's got that 3rd talent as well with +40 damage. Arrow coming through, not going to hit on Algo Dao, trying to push back these creeps. They're trying to take a tier 2 bottom. It's just Yasuki, so if he's a little bit too confident here, he might be in a little bit of trouble. Does take the tower and will just blink back. There's the Blink, Slither and Crush, Infest, but again, this is going to be a hard Underlord to take down, and now Hijack and Yasuki might be a little bit too far out. Widge is coming through. He's got that Omni Slash available. Yasuki's going to leap forward and try and find himself some space. Yasuki, Hijack are BKB popped by Yasuki just out of the range of that Ice Path. And Sunstrike will not hit on anybody. So they don't grab themselves anything. They get the tier 2, but Underlord too tanky with that 29 armor and the Atrophy Aura, just making it harder for Alpha Pro to bring him down. A 5-man smoke comes out from Vultur. Or a 4-man smoke, as they've got mid is Pepita. As Vultur are starting to make the rotation with this smoke. It's a 5-man smoke. The Ogre's there. I wasn't wrong. And now they break smoke right in front of the side of Alpha Pro, but immediately Delta maneuver out. They blink to all different directions. Ice Path doesn't hit on Yasuki. There's the Moonlight Shadow, but he blinks in front of the side of Vultur. Now he might be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes the Earth Splitter coming through. Yasuki's going to get hit by that EMP, but still alive as Ame has to avoid that Earth Splitter. He now gets hit by that Echo Stomp, And he might be the one who's in a little bit of trouble. There's the Blink, Slither and Crush with the Infest. There's the 4-step forward. Now he might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Infest out. And Ame, he's already used that Ghost Scepter. He'll be the first to fall in this fight. But Hijack, he's now hitting away at the side of Widge and D with the Underlord. Pit of Malice is going to stop Hijack for just a moment. Chaos Meteor comes through, but not going to hit on anybody. Ice Path is thrown forward, but still going to be a hit and a miss. Or a swing and a miss from the Jakiro. So Alpha Pro, they are finding a lot of good pickoffs right now, and they are retreating very well, pulling in the side of Vultur. They all blink in different directions, making it hard for Vultur to really focus on a target, and then coming right back in as Alpha Pro as they grab themselves a kill on Ame with him being on that Witch Doctor. So Mirana's picked up this Ghost Scepter, just about level 23. And top of the net worth now overtaking this Invoker, who's got himself the AC. Rubik, Ghost Scepter of his own, and he does have level 15, so 150 more health, which is pretty solid for him. And, ooh, Pepita does spot the Slardar. He just blinks back. He knows he's hit by Ghost Walk. So he's going to blink away and disengage. Hijack with the full AC, level 20. He's third on the net worth behind this Invoker, but now he starts to be looking like he's doing more than he was in the early game, despite having those early kills. Found himself a pickoff on Ame in the middle of the fray, and I say with an Echo Saber, he might be able to do a little bit more. That's just my personal preference. I am not the professional player. I'm just the amateur caster. Thus, it's just an opinion. But he could bring down Ame quicker. Move on to the next target. I don't know. It's just a thought. So BKB, E-Blade, Boots of Travel, Ags, Blink for this Mirana. Looking very well stacked up with these items. And we'll see if he goes Dagon next. It was Sumail the International, right? He went E-Blade, Mirana, Dagon after the Ags and destroyed the enemy team. Enemy, hard word, didn't know it. So with this double Starstorm, he's able to push these creep waves out and starting to push down bottom. Vultur, they might be in a little bit of trouble here as they have just no idea what to do at the moment. They're trying to push out these creep waves, but now they're starting to lose a tower. There's coming in is Pepita, gonna miss this tornado, and now Pepita's got to be really careful. He's down low by himself, and if he's not too careful, Yasuki could find a kill.
I'll take that as tribute.
Oh, moving forward is Underlord. Don Bruno's gonna spot him, but they won't go in on to this Underlord again. A very hard target to kill. He's been pretty much unkillable since he got that Crimson Guard. Now he's got the Guardian Greaves. 29 armor just makes him a hard man to kill. So BKB is finished for this Slardar. We take a look at Widge, who has that Basher. Probably looking to finish off an Abyssal Blade. You know, it seems as though he had been farming very well, but he still sits now 4th in the net worth. There's an Ice Path coming through. Not so sure if it's Sword Trade or Zera. And he will just infest out and TP down low as Pepita is trying to push this creep wave and try to take the tier 3 bottom by himself. Yasuki has got to be careful here. Pit of Malice, Blink. Not going to hit. Firestorm does come out. They will take out this creep wave, but they're not going to find themselves a kill on Yasuki. So all this is going on. Vultur's going to go for the Roche Aegis Cheese. under the noses of Alpha Pro. They've got it down to about a third health. There's the E-Boy with the Star Storm in a bit of trouble as Algo Dow. He's going to force F himself forward. He's got the Ice Path out onto the Marana, and now coming in with the Blink, Slither, and Crush, and as well as the Infest. Ame looking for that big open. He's not going to find it. He's the first one to fall. They've taken Roche. They've got the Aegis. They're going to immediately pop it on this Juggernaut. They've taken a third out. That's only with the Aegis. They take down Algo Dow, and now they're looking for more. They've got the Omni Slash running through on Alpha Pro, but nobody's dead just yet. Widge in a bit of trouble. There's the E-Blade, and the Slither and Crush comes out now on Pepita. 3 dead on the side of Vultur. Pepita will be the 4th to fall, and nobody lost on the side of Alpha Pro. So just a beautiful fight comes in as they've been behind what seems like this entire match. They take out 4, they take out the Aegis, and now it's their time as they push down this tier 2 in seconds and look towards a high ground siege. Glyph will come out from the side of Vultur, but it's not going to stop them from pushing that quickly on the side of Alpha Pro. They'll look to grab themselves racks. Maybe they'll look towards bottom. Invoker and Jugger dead for 30 seconds with no buyback. And that might be 2 sets of racks on the side of Vultur. There's the E-Blade. Starstorm comes out. Arrow thrown forward. Not enough. And now the ulti stolen from Nito. Nito, there's the Blink. Slithering Crush. Nito, is he going to use it? Try and turn it onto the side of Vultur. There's the Pit of Malice hitting Yasuki. But it's all just smoke and mirrors, as that's enough of a distraction to let the rest of their team take out this set of racks down low. So Vultur, who seem to have the lead this entire game, they lose that huge fight by the Roche Pit despite taking the Aegis. And they've now lost themselves 2 sets of racks, and it is looking very good for Alpha Pro, who's now taken this lead on the XP by 10,000 and the net worth by 5. There comes the Tornado. Pepita, he's got to be careful. Nobody is around this Marana, and probably a bit too low to really want to go onto Pepita. So just going to stick in that tree line and kind of hope he doesn't get spotted. And he will just TP back to base. So, Vultur, they got to find something, and here comes the Dagon 3 from this Marana. If you thought the Ghost Scepter double Starstorm was bad, now it's going to be E-Blade double Starstorm Dagon. Basically blow up anybody he wants. So looking for the Abyssal Blade. Hitbox does get... Or Hitbox. Hijack does get spotted out. I am on Hitbox right now. Hijack gets spotted out, but he will just use that Rage, get past that Pit of Malice, and be okay. Meanwhile, Yasuki does have enough to finish off Dagon 5, but going to hold on for buyback. Is invis right now. Oh boy, Algo Dow. There's the Dagon. Double Starstorm with the E-Blade. Like I said, easy kills going the way of Yasuki now. So now they'll look to push top, finish off this last set of racks, get themselves mega creeps, and look to finish this game. It's a best of 3, so they're looking to finish off a best of 1. Vultur, it's not the edge of elimination if they do lose this game. So with that, there's maybe a silver lining if they do fall in this game 1. It's really just the silver lining for either team. So they take that tier 2 top, and now they open up the ability to take down these shrines. That should be very easy for them.
Bad dudes, middle tower, everyone, go now! Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So cheese on Widge. Trying to finish off an Abyssal Blade of his own.
I'll take that as tribute.
As Pepita and D are just trying to push bottom out and kind of make it harder for Alpha Pro to push forward on these lanes and finish off this game. So Abyssal Blade is finished for Widge, and Alpha Pro, they continue to move in. Widge might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the E-Blade. Starstorm comes through. Ice Path as well. And Hijack will find a kill on Widge. He's down for 70 seconds as he just bought out on that Abyssal Blade. So with that kill, it's going to be a hard high ground defense on the last... Wow, 3 arrows coming through. Does hit on Underlord. It's going to be a hard defense on this last set of racks and tower. And we'll try to do so with the Macropyre. There's the BKB pop by Trader Zera. They do get the Moonlight Shadow coming through, trying to take this last set of racks. Arrow comes through, hits on all 3 as the Slithering Crush is a big follow-up. There's the E-Blade with the Starstorm, looking for the Dagon. Ice Path flies through. Nobody dead on either side just yet. Sunstrike is going to hit on the Rubik. They haven't found anything on either side just yet. Dagon thrown at Underlord. Trader Zera blinks in with the Slithering Crush now. Invoker might be in a little bit of trouble. They use up Trader Zera. He's rooted again by the Pit of Malice. 4 staffs himself forward. Tornado does not hit on Hijack. Slithering Crush comes through on 2. They're hitting away at this last set of racks. That's Mega Creeps. I'm in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be the first to fall on the side of Vultur. 3 are stunned up on the side of Alpha Pro Gaming. They've lost 1. They've lost 2. Dom Bruno a little bit of trouble. Yasuki brings down Algo Dao, and it's a 2-for-2 trade. They were looking for Dom Bruno, but just stays alive as they lose the Lifestealer and the Slardar, and they do... hold for now, kind of. Mega Creeps. Not really. Now they got to fight against Mega Creeps. Buyback on both the Slardar and the Lifestealer is available. Yasuki's still alive. Where do you go from here if you're Vultur? You just got to push and pray. So here comes the haste. Underlord might be in a little bit of trouble. E-Blade, Dagon, Starstorm dead. Gem on the table. Rana didn't stick around to pick it up. No space. I mean, he does have the backpack if he wants to get rid of something. Maybe with the haste could have got rid of the boots. Or just put it in the backpack and then pick up the gem and run. No matter, they've got another gem on the Elder Titan. And Underlord is dead for 43 seconds. Both up are Slardar and the Lifestealer. And Alpha Pro, they're looking to finish this game up. So Moonlight Shadow is used. Vultur, they're up by this bounty room, secret shop area. Excuse me. And now there's the blink. It's just not even fair. Blink, E-Blade, Starstorm, Dagon, dead in the blink of an eye. And they still call Sec with the pause. So they are ready to go. What did he take here? He took those 2 arrows. Lifestealer just about level 20. 5. Can't look away from Yasuki for a moment. If you do, you miss kills like that. Gets a kill on Widge, 2 dead. No buyback for either of them. 65 seconds without their Juggernaut. Tier 4s They're the next target. There's the Blink with the E-Blade, Dagon, Starstorm. They've got the Slardar in the Pit of Malice. They're looking for more. Earth Splitter hits on two. Trader Zera, he's going to be locked up for just a moment. Arrows come out, but not enough. And there is the TP away. Or towards the back of their well. Ame in a bit of trouble. He'll fall. GG's called as the Ancient is exposed. Game 1 goes the way of Alpha Pro. They were on their heels for most of it. But they do pull through in the end and take Game 1 in this best of 3 in the first series of the night. So we'll be back in just a moment. We're here on Hitbox, hitbox.tv/KOD League. I'm your caster, BCop, on Twitter at BCop92. I'm on Twitch, but those links are on my Twitter if you want to follow me in places. I'll be back to cast Game 2 and maybe a Game 3 of this series coming up next. We'll be back in just a moment.